Voici donc Lizbeth Ayoub.
"60 years ago, the story of one patient changed our understanding of how memory works in the brain. But his story is not only about memory, it opens the door for pain research. Patient Henry Molaison, we call him patient HM, suffered from debilitating seizures, and at 27 years old, he couldn't work or lead a normal life. And so he underwent surgery to remove parts of his brain that caused him to have these seizures. But after surgery, he couldn't make new memories. And this is when scientists realized that they had removed a very important brain region responsible for memory. That brain region is called the hippocampus. Hippocampus is the Greek name for seahorse, because it looks like it, doesn't it? It's a very small brain region. We have two in our brain, one on the right side and one on the left side. And it's the most important brain region for memory and learning. It helps us make new memories, but also help us remember events that we've experienced. You can think of it as a very helpful librarian, coding all of your new experiences and filing them. And I'm even using my hippocampus now because I've never done a pain talk before. And I'll remember this talk and this beautiful audience because of my hippocampus. And so patient HM, not having both of his hippocampi, we call them in plural, couldn't make new memories. But what about pain? 30 years after his surgery, this is in 1985, scientists noticed that he responded differently to pain. He wasn't bothered by very hot temperatures on his skin, no matter how intense they got. He even rarely complained on a daily basis of aches and pains. And so did patient HM not feel pain at all? Or did he feel pain, but he just wasn't bothered by it? And the answer is, we don't really know the role of the hippocampus in pain experience in humans. What we do know is that we feel pain because of our brain. Brain regions communicate with each other to process the sensation of pain, how it makes us feel, but also drawing our attention to it. Pain is really good for us because it's meant to protect us, like an alarm. And so I'm a neuroscientist in training, and one of the ways that we can look inside your brain is we use magnetic resonance imaging. You might have known it as MRI. And what we do with the MRI machine is we take a scan of your brain, and we can see what your brain looks like, we can measure the size, and we can even measure brain function, so activity in different brain regions. And so recent studies using MRI have shown that the hippocampus is more active when you're about to feel pain, but also in response to pain. But these studies don't tell us how a memory region would be involved in the pain experience at all. And so our research team, for the first time, is investigating how the hippocampus contributes to pain experience in humans. And to do that, we are studying a very specific patient population. Our patients have damage to the hippocampus. And our research has 3 different parts, and I will walk you through them. The first part is we use a whole battery of sensory tests to measure patients' ability to detect, but also tolerate pain. And what you see here is a pinprick. It's essentially a metal rod that we press against your skin, and we can measure patients' ability to detect painful pressure. Another instrument we use is a thermode. And the thermode, we put it on your skin, and it generates different temperatures. And this will help us assess your ability to detect painful temperatures like cold pain or hot pain. And another instrument that we use to detect your pain tolerance, we use a big cold water bath, very ice-cold water. And we ask our patients to put their hands in the water for as long as they can tolerate. Up to 3 minutes. It's very painful, by the way. I've tried it. And we ask them how it makes them feel. And all these instruments will help us assess patients' ability to detect, but also tolerate pain. And if we think that the hippocampus is involved in the pain experience, then maybe our patients will be less sensitive to detecting pain, or more tolerant to pain. We're still investigating that, because this has never been done in our patients before. The second part of our research is we're going to take a scan of their brain. And now remember, these patients have damage to the hippocampus. And what this means is that their hippocampus is a lot smaller sometimes than a healthy one. And if the hippocampus is related to how you can detect or tolerate pain, then the size of the hippocampus would be related to the levels of pain detection and tolerance in these patients. This is the first time that we establish such a relationship between sensory tests and also MRI scan. Third part is my favorite part, because I get to interview patients and ask them directly how pain makes them feel. I ask them about their pain experiences, how they remember them. If they get injured, do they address their injuries right away? And a lot of times these patients are very grateful that we're asking them, because what better way to do science than to put patients at the core center of our research and give them a voice? We all feel pain differently. Not one of us feel pain the same way. And so we want their input on how they feel pain. So all three parts of our research will really give us a holistic overview of the role of the hippocampus in pain. Our research started with the story of one patient HM. And his story sparked our interest into investigating the role of the hippocampus in pain. If we can understand the different processes that the hippocampus is involved in the pain experience, we will have new avenues for pain treatments. Thank you. Merci.